down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Yeah. Next thing that you know, you'll see an octopus in the neighborhood, surfing on a sine wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at your intestine, take your second right past Mars. On the magic school bus, half a gator, no it's true. I'm on the magic school bus, frank a blame, toom toom. I'm on the magic school bus, stop the river of lava, running on the magic school bus.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss Frizzle.
Today we're going to learn about the Russian Revolution, and it starts with a triple entente, which included France, Russia, and Britain. Yes, Sophia?
So what does this have to do with the Russian Revolution?
That's a good question. Follow me! Woo! Buckle up, kids! Yes! As I was saying in the classroom, the Russo-Japanese War gave way to the beginning of the Russian Revolution. The Revolution of 1905 was a revolution of the working class for social welfare legislation. Bloody Sunday was a day during the Revolution of 1905. It was characterized by an angry Tsar lashing out at his radical citizens for revolting.
Oh look, they're beating up a Jewish serf.
No. Good eye, Jose. That's called a pogrom.
Let's get the facts. Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra had a hemophiliatic son, Alexis. A man named Rasputin claimed that he could cure Alexis.
Government had begun to ration all bread. Angered women took to the streets.
Autocracy! Down with autocracy! Peace and bread. Peace!
They were joined by workers and troops. The revolution became too out of hand for the Tsar. The Duma, Russia's legislative body, was forced to meet. They established a provisional government and urged the Tsar to step down. The workers' councils, known as the Soviets, threatened this new form of government, which represented the lower class.
Who's that?
According to my research, that is Vladimir Ulyanov, known as V.I. Lenin. Right, Miss Frizzle?
Yep, this is I.V. Lenin, leader of the Bolsheviks, a Russian Marxist social democratic party. Mr. Lenin advocated violent revolts. He wrote the April thesis, which stated that the soldier, worker, and peasant Soviets were ready-made instruments of power.
Wait, who's that?
That is Alexander Kerensky. He was the prime minister of the provisional government. Now this is Leon Trotsky.
How is he important?
He is a former Menshevik who helped Lenin with the Military Revolutionary Committee. This was a plot to overthrow the government. Now let's go see the November Revolution of 1917.
What are those soldiers doing?
Those are the Bolshevik forces, and on the night of November 6th, they took over Winter Palace, seizing the palace with almost no bloodshed.
And where did this all lead to?
Very good question. Trotsky's partner in crime, Lenin, promised the Russian people peace, but this was not an easy goal for Mr. Lenin to achieve, and him and his government had to sign up for the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with Germany. Most of his critics called him out for it, but he assured his people that when socialism took Europe by storm, the treaty would become null and void.
What happens next, Miss Frizzle?
As I always say, to the bus! Now kids, first things first. We have two sides to this story, the Reds and the Whites. The Whites were the first serious threat to the army and were anti-communist or against the Red Army.
I heard that the Whites were handicapped because of their disunity with military cooperation and political differences.
Couldn't have said it better myself, kiddo. The Reds, on the other hand, were well-disciplined and a formidable fighting force, thanks to our old friend Mr. Trotsky. They had advantages of interior lines of defense and had no problem with moving their troops around. Yahoo!
What did the Red Army use for military tactics, Miss Frizzle?
Well, they used two systems, one called war communism and the other Cheka.
I've heard of the Cheka. They were the Red Army's secret police that were used to terrorize mostly the bourgeoisie and debtor opposition to...
Very good, Sophia. Yes, that's what Cheka was. But they used war communism to ensure regular supplies for their army. It also nationalized banks and the majority of other industries.
This is all very interesting, Miss Frizzle, but I'm getting tired.
We have one more thing left, and that one thing is Lenin's new economic policy in 1921. Lenin reached down and pulled Russia from its chaotic pit of its past and gave a kickstart with its new policy, which was a modified version of the later capitalist system. It helped the peasants with their industries by allowing them to sell food openly, and small stores and industries could operate with private ownership.
Yeah, I heard that the new economic policy of his ended a famine.
Yes, you're right, Dakota, and it's getting late, so let's go to the bus. All in all, kids, we learned a lot about the Russian Revolution, but now it's time to go to our own place and time. Bus, do your stuff!